figured I should introduce you to my two dogs before I show you some dog training things. Come here. Onyx is up on the bed. Hey, come here. This is Sarge. He is a almost 7-year-old Pomeranian. He is a service dog, well, on duty. He's been working for about two and a half years. I got him when he was 3 from a not so great breeder, but he just ended up being perfect for the job and put a lot of work into him, and he's done really well over the years. Let's see if we can get Onyx off the bed. Come here. Come on. Off. Come on. Sit. Sit. Good. This is Onyx. Onyx. Hey. Onyx is a German Shepherd Husky mix. He's a little over 1.5, and he is a service dog in training to eventually take over for Sarge or just assist Sarge at some point, depending on how Sarge gets when he gets older and his ability and motivation to work. Onyx has done well so far, despite other health issues that have interfered with me working with him. Come here. Sorry, he's dead set on taking a nap because we were out training for about, we're on training sessions for about 3 times. Leave the bed. That's it. But Onyx looks most of the German Shepherd. He's got the 2 barks. He's got the Husky bark, and he's also got his big German Shepherd Husky bark, or German Shepherd bark. Sorry. He's got a martingale collar on because he's got a kind of a small head and a really thick neck. But he's really a big baby. He's been pretty well socialized ever since he was a little puppy. He used to be about the size of Sarge, and now he's 2 to 3 times bigger than him. And I am Reese. I worked with dogs all my life. I've had dogs all my life. These are my 2 personal dogs. I would have more if I could, but the only reason I actually get away with having Onyx here too is he is registered as an ESA currently while he's in training, so he doesn't have public access currently as far as the college paperwork goes. But Sarge has been full public access, full working dog for 2 years, and he's been all over the place. ER, regular doctor's appointments, my haircuts, all sorts of different things. The best part of all dog training is you gotta start with your treats. I mean, if you don't have something to reward your dog, you're not gonna want to do what you want him to do. And positive reinforcement has been scientifically proven to help a dog work faster and not shut down. So the basics you can start with. Come here, Sarge. Sit. Good. You can increase how hard you want this to be for your dog by doing it in different situations, like say at the park. Or you can do it, I don't know, in the gym, whatever. Different places will have different distractions that pose a different challenge to your dog. You can also try with just a verbal command. Sit. Sarge, sit. No. Come here. Sarge, sit. Good. Or you can try with a visual command. Come here. Good. When you first begin training the trick, you probably want to do both the visual cue and the audio, the audible cue. You want to say the command, and then if the dog does not do said thing, take a few minutes to do the visual cue, and then repeat the verbal cue. Down. You can also do higher difficulty things with distance, duration, so things like stay or down. You can have them in an extended down, so you can have them in a down and then progressively progress them towards being in a down for a longer amount of time. Another thing that's important to focus on when you're desensitizing your dog or working on their concentration is things like distractions. So you throw a treat one way, you can tell them to leave it, whatever. You give them a treat for they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. Some dogs, you can also do this with their favorite toys, tempt them into doing what they want to do, but you don't want to push it too far where they're not being set up to succeed. You want to set your dog up to succeed every time and make sure that they don't get confused or frustrated purely because of how you are presenting things to them. Different commands can also help. Sometimes, especially for me as a disabled individual, I use different commands in case I am unable to speak or unable to move certain limbs, as I've had issues with that in the past due to either non-verbalization or selective mutism or other things like that. But it's also a great way to keep them from being bored, is to teach them different ways of those commands. You can use just the verbal or just the visual command. You can add it as another layer of complexity to your dog's training, so your dog is not getting bored with doing the same thing every day and just having nothing to entertain their brain with. Onyx is here to help me demonstrate the rest of this session. Come here. Come on. A lot of times when playing with your dog, there are a few things you can teach them just while even playing with them. So playing with tug-of-war, you can teach something called release or let go. I tend to use release because it's more of one word. Onyx, release. Good. You stop playing with them, stop moving the toy, and make it less fun for them to hold on to it. And you can also do a disapproving tone like Onyx, like that. But you would also want to, with the puppy, since he is not even 2 yet, you want to do things like name response, come, look, loose leash walking, probably fetch if you have a bigger dog. Come here. Come here. Good boy. So that was come. Now see if we respond. Onyx. Good. You can also use a name response as come if you want to. I tend to use the name response just to get their attention. Same as like look. So Onyx, look. So when I do look, I take my hand with the treats, go to my eyes, and he looks me in the eyes, and he gets a treat. Look is one of the key things I do for loose leash walking. Because when walking your dog, they can get distracted by things like squirrels, leaves, trees, whatever. But when you have them check in, look, then they are focusing more on you and paying attention to how fast you're going, where you're going, and less on the environment around them. Hey. Those are called structured walks. Look. I will cover what are called decompression walks, or what I like to call sniff walks later on. But with fetch, generally you want to find something that they will already go ahead and pick up, and then go within close proximity to them, and have them bring it to you. And if you want them to drop it on the ground first, that's fine. Then allow them to do that. If they go ahead and come to you and drop it on the ground, then you give them a treat, and then throw the ball again. But if you want them to give it to you in your hands instead of dropping it on the ground just by you, then you want to reward them for bringing it to you at first, but heavily reward them when they give it to you in your hands, so they know that that is the priority and that essentially you get more out of it. Come here. Hey, look. Good. Onyx. Good. Onyx. If you change their name, especially if you have a rescue or something, you want to do a name response so they know that that is their name and that they need to respond to it. Sorry. Hey, come here. Come here. Come here. It's a small space, so it's like, I'm already here. Good. Here you go, Richie. Biggest thing when training dogs is you want to advance slowly. You want to set the dog up to succeed. You don't want to confuse the dog. You don't want to make the dog angry because I just don't get this, and I don't know what they want me to do, and just have a temper tantrum. We don't want that. So gradually doing things helps you progress in a more standard, measurable way. Makes you progress in a way that is gradual but also sustainable. So if you progress way too much in one day, overdo the dog, then you can't do anything about it the next day because the dog is just done with that command and doesn't want to do it because he's confused about it and he doesn't know what he's doing. So if you or the dog are frustrated, take a break. You can always come back to it.